When we buy a piece of machinery, the mechanics are often hidden inside a box, so we can't see what makes it work. So if we buy a washing machine, we can't see what makes it go round and round. If we buy a hairdryer, we can't see what's making the fan work that makes the air blow out. If we buy a printer, we can't see what's grabbing the paper and sending it through the printer to print the text on it. So today we're going to learn a little bit about the basic mechanics of some simple machines. I'm going to need some volunteers. Hello boys.
Hello.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So, first of all, we'll start with this, and it's a round shape. It's got a hole in the middle, it's got a shaft, and it's got a crank handle. Now, let's see what this does. Let's put it in the machine, and if the operator turns the handle, what's happening with this?
It's turning round and round.
It's turning round and round. Is it doing anything else?
Not really, no.
It isn't, is it? It's just going round and round. It's just an ordinary wheel. Thank you. Let's look at this one. It's round, it's got a hole, it's got a shaft and a crank handle. But it's not quite the same as the one that we had before. How's it different?
The shaft's in a different place.
It is in a different place. The hole is not in the middle like it was before. So let's see what this one does. Here we are, machine. Now if the operator turn the handle again. Now, what's happening this time? It's a little bit different to the one we had before. What's happening this time?
It's going up and down.
It's going up and down and
And
round and round. What would happen if we put this on a car? That would make for a very uncomfortable ride, and that would be a very silly wheel to have on a car. Bad idea. Now let's look at this one. This one isn't even round, so that's not a wheel. What shape's this?
Triangle.
It's a triangle. It's got a hole in the middle. It's on a shaft, and it's got a crank handle. So let's put this one in the machine and see what it does. Okay, so what's this one doing?
It's going round and round.
Okay, what else is happening?
Each spike goes up as it goes around.
It is, that's right, the spikes are going up and down as they go around. Now what would happen if we put this one on a car? Your car would jump around all over the place, and that would be a very silly thing to put on a car. It's not going to work at all, is it? So these are no good as wheels. So what are they? What can we call them? They must have another name.
Cams.
Cams, that's right, they're cams. Now cams do two things. They go round and round and up and down. Now if we go back to the ordinary wheel, let's see if we can do something else with this. Now let's put it back in the machine and turn it round. Now look, if we put another wheel on top of it, now what's happening to that? It's driving the other wheel around. And that is happening because the friction between the two surfaces is pushing one wheel against the other. So you've got a wheel going round in a vertical way, pushing a wheel going in a horizontal way. So this is called a friction wheel. Thank you, boys.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to look at some of our Timberkit models and see if we can identify the parts that we've just learned about. So we have Pirate Panic here, fighting his octopus. Then we have the T-Rex. And we have the drummer. And the guitarist. And the kissing couple. Now you're going to build your own mechanical model. You can choose between a few different movements that we explored in the basic mechanisms we learnt about in part 1. So you can choose to use a round and round motion like this. You're going to need an ordinary wheel on the drive shaft and a friction wheel sitting on the top of it just to one side so that it pushes it round and round. Or you can use an up and down motion like this. The triangle cams underneath make the rabbits jump up and down a bit with a jerky sort of movement. Now here the friction wheels are being used just to help the little sticks ride over the cams smoothly. They're not really being used as proper friction wheels to drive round and round. They're just there to make it run smoothly. Or you can do a combination of up and down and round. So here we've got two round cams which make it go up and down much more smoothly. One of the cams is making the helicopter go up and down, and the other cam is making the blades go round and round. And because they're doing that together, it makes it look all one and the same machine. Or you can do a side-to-side motion, like our bumblebee here. So we've got two cams set in opposite directions to each other, and there's a friction wheel on the top that is being first pushed one way and then another. So here we've got two side-to-side motions in the same model, making the little toad's eyes swivel backwards and forwards together. Right, we're ready to start building. First we're going to glue the crank handle together. Like this. Try and get it nice and straight, and then put it to one side to dry. So take the base and glue the little pegs into the holes. And then take the sides and put some more glue on the bottoms and fit them over the pegs. And take the top, put glue on there and there, and place over the top like that, and then put it to one side and let it dry. Okay, when everything's dry, push your drive shaft through the side and choose which cam or wheel you're going to use to get the movement that you need. Push it onto the drive shaft and keep going all the way through until it comes out the other side. Now have a think about which hole you want to choose in the top for your model to move from, and just test with a stick that you've got your cam in the right place. Then with a pencil, just mark either side of the cam on the drive shaft and move it to one side and put a blob of glue between the marks. Then move the cam back into position and twist it a bit as you go so the glue spreads all the way around. Now the last thing is this little piece here is going to go on the end to stop the drive shaft from falling out. So let's put a bit of glue inside and pop it on the end there. Not too tight, otherwise it won't be able to turn freely. So it's just to keep everything in its place. And then leave that to dry. Okay, now you're ready to start thinking about the model that you're going to put on top. It can be useful to start just with drawing and cutting simple shapes out of paper or card, or you can think about using all sorts of different materials, such as this spider here who's made out of fuzzy balls and pipe cleaners, and we have a peacock who's been made out of plasticine and feathers. But you can choose all sorts of different materials. You can use fabric or tissue, you can use paint, glitter, anything that takes your fancy. So let your imagination go and have fun.